First Contact and False Assumptions. Admiral Elena Santos stood at the viewport of the International Space Defense Command's underground facility, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the approaching alien fleet. The Zirani ships gleamed like polished obsidian against the backdrop of space, their crystalline structures refracting sunlight in ways that made Earth's most advanced visible satellites look primitive by comparison. 17 vessels detected in high orbit, announced Captain James Chen, his fingers dancing across the quantum-encrypted console. Their energy signatures are interesting, Admiral. Elena raised an eyebrow. Interesting how, Captain? They're broadcasting their power levels openly. Either they're incredibly confident, or they want us to see how advanced they are. Elena finished, a slight smile playing at the corners of her mouth. The oldest trick in the book, shock and awe. The massive underground chamber hummed with activity as personnel from every major Earth nation worked in perfect synchronization. After the Global Defense Accord of 2045, humanity had finally united its military capabilities under a single command structure, though the Zirani didn't need to know that just yet. The first transmission from the alien fleet arrived exactly as predicted. A holographic figure materialized in the center of the command center, tall, elegant, with iridescent scales that shifted colors like oil on water. The beam's 4 eyes blinked in sequence as it surveyed the room. "People of Earth," the figure announced in perfect English, its voice resonating with artificial warmth. "I am High Commander Vax Terran of the Zirani Protectorate. We come in peace, seeking to welcome your world into our galactic community." Elena stepped forward, playing her role perfectly. She wore a simple naval uniform, deliberately lacking the quantum-enhanced features that were standard issue. "Commander Vax Terran, I am Admiral Santos of Earth's Defense Command. We're honored by your arrival." The alien scales shifted to a pleased purple hue. "The honor is ours, Admiral. We've been monitoring your world's development with great interest. Your recent achievements in chemical propulsion and digital computing are impressive for your stage of development." Elena caught the subtle condescension in his tone and suppressed a smile. The Zirani had fallen for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Behind her, the command center's apparent primitive displays showed only basic radar and satellite data. The real command interfaces, quantum-linked and running on dark energy processors, remained hidden behind seamless metamaterial screens. "We hope to learn much from your advanced civilization," Elena replied, noting how Vax Terran's scales rippled with satisfaction at her carefully crafted humility. "Of course. As a gesture of goodwill, we'd like to offer a technological exchange. Nothing too advanced, of course. We wouldn't want to overwhelm your systems. Perhaps we could start with some basic improvements to your propulsion technology." "That would be most generous," Elena said, while Captain Chen made a show of excitedly taking notes on an obsolete tablet computer. The meeting continued for another hour, with Vax Terran explaining the Zirani's role as protectors of developing civilizations. Elena maintained her mask of grateful deference, even as her quantum neural implant recorded and analyzed every detail of the alien's technology signatures. After the transmission ended, Elena turned to her real command interface, hidden in plain sight as a simple coffee mug. "Analysis complete," the AI reported through her neural link. "Their ship's defensive systems are optimized for energy weapons and quantum attacks. No significant countermeasures detected against kinetic weapons or phase-shifted projectiles." "Just as we suspected," Elena murmured. "They've become so reliant on their advanced technology that they've forgotten the basics." She turned to Captain Chen. "Initiate Protocol Wooden Horse. Let's show our new friends exactly what they expect to see." Across Earth's surface, hidden installations began powering down their quantum shields, replacing them with easily detectable conventional energy signatures. Orbital defense platforms shifted into stealth mode, while decoy satellites broadcasting primitive radar signals took their place. In the depths of the Marianas Trench, the real Earth defense fleet waited in quantum silence, Thousands of ships, built in secret over decades, their hulls made of dark matter composite, and their weapons systems combining both advanced technology and deliberately primitive kinetic weapons. How long until they make their move? Chen asked, his eyes on the Shirani fleet's formation. Elena studied the tactical display. Based on their behavior patterns, I'd say 3 days. They're following the classic conquest playbook. Arrive in peace, assess the target's capabilities, then strike when they think they've seen everything. She smiled, remembering an ancient quote about the danger of underestimating one's opponents. Let them think we're primitive. Let them think we're naive. When the time comes, they'll learn that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our ability to learn from history. The stage was set. Now they just had to wait for the Shirani to spring their own trap. The art of misdirection. Dr. Maya Patel tried not to smile as she led High Commander Vax Terran through what appeared to be Earth's most advanced research facility. The Shirani leader's 4 eyes darted between the deliberately antiquated equipment, his scales shifting to shades of smug azure. And this is our prototype fusion reactor, Maya explained, gesturing to a massive tokamak device that filled the chamber. We're still working on maintaining plasma containment for more than a few minutes. Vax Terran's translator assistant, Science Officer Krell, made a sound that might have been a poorly concealed laugh. Fascinating. Though I must say, your reliance on magnetic containment is rather quaint. The Shirani mastered gravitational compression centuries ago. Really? Maya's eyes widened with carefully practiced wonder. That sounds incredible. Would you mind explaining the basic principles? As Krell launched into a condescending explanation of gravitational physics, Maya's quantum neural implant recorded every word. The Shirani's pride made them surprisingly loose-lipped about their technology, especially when they thought they were speaking to inferior beings. Deep beneath the facility, the real Earth defense labs hummed with activity. The primitive fusion reactor above was merely a shell housing sophisticated sensors that analyzed every detail of the Shirani visitors' technology signatures. Maya's comm implant chimed softly. Package delivered. Admiral Santos's voice whispered in her mind. The Shirani just accepted our gift of cultural exchange data. Quantum virus payload is active. Understood. Maya subvocalized while maintaining her attentive expression toward Krell's lecture. The cultural database the Shirani had so eagerly downloaded was embedded with sophisticated monitoring software, allowing Earth's AI systems to penetrate their networks. And of course, Krell was saying, once you understand basic 11-dimensional space-time manipulation, energy generation becomes trivial. That's amazing. Maya gushed. Though I'm afraid much of it is beyond our current understanding. We're still working with basic quantum mechanics. Vax Terran's scales rippled with paternal indulgence. Do not worry, Dr. Patel. Under the Protectorate's guidance, your species will advance. In time. The tour continued through other carefully staged areas. A cutting-edge missile development facility that appeared to be working on chemical propulsion systems, a space warfare center still using conventional radar tracking, and a robotics lab featuring deliberately clunky mechanical designs. What the Shirani didn't see were the quantum computing cores hidden behind metamaterial walls, the dark matter production facilities deep underground, or the neural network interfaces disguised as simple displays. Later that evening, Maya met with Admiral Santos in the real command center, hidden a kilometer beneath the fake facility. They bought it completely, Maya reported, accessing the day's sensor data through her neural link. Their scans never penetrated beyond our surface deception. They're convinced we're at least 2 centuries behind our technology level. Elena nodded, studying the holographic display showing the Shirani fleet's movements. Their ships are repositioning. Subtle, but they're clearly preparing for military action. Our quantum virus is feeding us their tactical communications. They're planning to strike within 48 hours. Standard conquest protocol, Maya said. They think they've seen all our capabilities and calculated that resistance would be futile. Their own technology blinds them. They can't imagine that a civilization without their level of visible advancement could pose any threat. That's always been their weakness, Alina replied. They measure everything by their own standards. They've forgotten that technology isn't always about what you can see. She gestured, and the holographic display shifted to show Earth's true defensive grid, a complex network of quantum-linked satellites, phase-shifted weapon platforms, and AI-controlled defensive systems, all hidden behind carefully crafted veils of technological invisibility. Status of Project Masterpiece, Alina asked. Maya smiled. Ready for deployment. The quantum entanglement traps are in position, disguised as communication satellites. The moment they initiate their attack, their fancy 11-dimensional drives will find themselves operating in an entirely different set of physics. And the kinetic response packages, loaded and ready. Sometimes the old ways are still the best. They're so focused on defending against energy weapons and quantum attacks, they've practically forgotten about simple projectile physics. Even if they detect our railguns, they'll probably dismiss them as primitive technology. Alina's expression hardened. Humanity learned long ago that the most dangerous weapon is the one your enemy doesn't think is a threat. The Zirani are about to learn that lesson the hard way. The Admiral turned to the command display, where a countdown timer marked the hours until the expected Zirani attack. Maintain deception protocols. Let them think their victory is assured. In 2 days, they'll discover that humanity's greatest advantage isn't our technology. It's our ability to make our enemies underestimate us. As if on cue, another transmission arrived from the Zirani flagship, requesting permission to begin cultural integration procedures. Maya and Alina shared a knowing look. The pieces were in place. Now they just had to wait for their overconfident visitors to make their move. Hidden strength. The attack began exactly as Earth's military command had predicted. At 300 hours UTC, the Zirani fleet's energy signatures suddenly spiked, their diplomatic vessels transforming into their true combat configurations. Enemy fleet deploying combat formations, Captain Chen announced calmly. They're launching what appears to be a standard subjugation protocol. Energy weapons powering up, quantum disruption fields activating. Admiral Santos stood in the true command center, watching the holographic display with quiet intensity. Status of our defensive grid. Still running in stealth mode. They're detecting only our decoy installations. Their targeting systems are locked onto our surface-level military bases and power stations. High Commander Vaxteran's transmission cut across all frequencies, his scales now a fierce crimson. People of Earth, your world has been selected for incorporation into the Zirani Protectorate. Your military capabilities have been thoroughly assessed. Resistance would only result in unnecessary casualties. Surrender now, and your transition to our governance will be peaceful. Alina took a deliberate sip from her coffee before responding. This is Admiral Santos. We're receiving multiple warnings about your weapon systems activating. Is there perhaps a malfunction in your fleet? There is no malfunction, Admiral, Vaxteran replied, his tone dripping with condescension. We have monitored your civilization and determined you require guidance. Your primitive defensive systems cannot hope to resist our technology. Accept your place in the natural order. Alina made a subtle hand gesture, and Maya activated their counter-invasion protocols. Across Earth's surface, the carefully maintained illusion of technological inferiority began to fade. Interesting perspective, Commander, Alina said, though I should point out one small error in your assessment. She paused for effect. You never actually saw our defensive systems. The metamaterial shields concealing Earth's true military installations rippled and vanished. Thousands of quantum-linked weapon platforms emerged from their dimensional pockets. The primitive satellites in orbit revealed themselves as advanced combat stations, their hulls composed of dark matter alloys. By the void, Vaxteran whispered, his scales shifting to pale yellow. A sign of shock. This is impossible. Our scans only showed what we wanted them to see, Alina finished. You should know, Commander, that humanity has a long history of learning from those who underestimate us. Maya's voice came through the neural link. Quantum virus fully deployed through their networks. Their 11-dimensional drives are locked in our entanglement field. They're trapped in normal space. The Jirani ships attempted to fire their energy weapons, only to find their targeting systems compromised by Earth's quantum interference. Their advanced shields, designed to repel energy attacks, proved useless against the barrage of hypervelocity kinetic weapons launched from Earth's primitive defense platforms. "This is your only warning, Commander," Elena announced. "Your fleet is surrounded, your drives are neutralized, and your weapons are ineffective. The Jirani Protectorate has two choices: immediate withdrawal or immediate surrender." The command center watched as the Jirani fleet attempted various escape maneuvers, each one countered by Earth's hidden capabilities. Their supposedly superior technology, rendered useless by humanity's careful preparation and strategic deception. "How?" Vax Terran demanded, his scales now cycling through colors in distress. "Your civilization, your technology level, was exactly what you expected to see," Elena replied. "A classic mistake, assuming that visible technology equals actual capability. Humanity learned long ago that true strength lies not in showing power, but in knowing when to hide it." The holographic displays showed multiple Jirani vessels disabled by precision kinetic strikes, their advanced shields useless against what they had dismissed as primitive weaponry. Others found themselves trapped in quantum entanglement fields, their sophisticated drives reduced to conventional propulsion. "Perhaps," Elena continued, "it's time for the Jirani to learn what Earth has known for millennia. Never judge a civilization's capabilities by their willingness to display them." As the Jirani fleet hung powerless in Earth's orbit, Elena turned to Maya. "Signal the dark matter fleet. Let's show our friends what a truly advanced defensive system looks like." From the depths of Earth's oceans, the hidden fleet of humanity emerged. Ships that combined both advanced quantum technology and tried-and-true kinetic weapons. The Jirani were about to learn that humanity's path to the stars had taken a very different route than they had imagined. The real demonstration of Earth's power was just beginning. Tables turned. The emergence of Earth's true fleet from the ocean depths was a sight that would be remembered in galactic history. Thousands of vessels, their dark matter hulls absorbing light rather than reflecting it, rose from the waters in perfect formation. Each ship represented a perfect fusion of advanced quantum technology and classical military doctrine. High Commander Vax Terran's holographic form flickered as he struggled to maintain composure. This is a deception, some kind of primitive holographic trick." "I assure you, Commander," Elena replied, allowing herself a small smile. "Everything you're seeing is quite real. Though I understand your confusion. After all, your scans showed nothing but primitive submarines in our oceans." Maya's voice came through the neural link. "Their quantum communications are in chaos. The entire Jirani command structure is trying to make sense of our fleet's capabilities. They've never seen anything like our hybrid technology approach." Earth's vessels moved with impossible precision, their movements guided by quantum-linked AI systems that operated faster than organic minds could process. The Jirani's attempts at defensive maneuvers were predictable, based on their standardized combat protocols. "Fascinating," Maya observed, analyzing the data streams. "Their entire military doctrine is built around pure technological superiority. They have no concept of adaptive warfare or combined arms tactics." Elena nodded. "A classic mistake. They became so reliant on their advanced technology that they forgot the fundamental principles of combat." She opened a channel to all Earth vessels. "Execute Operation Checkmate." The dark matter fleet split into precise formations, each group demonstrating a different aspect of Earth's military capabilities. Some vessels launched salvos of kinetic weapons, their simple physics bypassing the Jirani's energy shields. Others deployed quantum disruption fields that turned the aliens' own technology against them. Most devastating of all were the hybrid attacks, combinations of advanced technology and conventional warfare that the Zirani's combat systems couldn't categorize or counter. A railgun round enhanced with quantum entanglement properties, a missile carrying a payload of dark matter. Simple kinetic weapons accelerated through dimensional shortcuts. Their biggest weakness, Alina explained to her command staff, is their inability to conceive of combining different levels of technology. They see warfare as a linear progression, primitive to advanced. They never considered that true advancement might mean mastering all approaches. The Zirani fleet's formation began to break apart as ship after ship found their sophisticated systems neutralized by Earth's unconventional attacks. Their attempts to return fire were met with layers of defense that seamlessly combined energy shields, kinetic barriers, and quantum phase shifting. "Admiral," Maya reported, "we're detecting multiple power surges in their fleet. They appear to be attempting some kind of desperate measure." Alina's expression hardened. "Show me." The holographic display zoomed in on several Zirani vessels combining their energy outputs. "They're trying to create a quantum cascade," Maya explained. "It would destroy their ships, but the blast could potentially devastate Earth's surface. A suicide attack." Alina shook her head. "They really don't understand us at all." She opened a channel to the Zirani command. "Commander Vaxterin, I wouldn't recommend completing that quantum cascade sequence." The alien commander's scales had turned a deep, desperate red. "You leave us no choice. If we cannot have this world, then—" "Look up, Commander." Above the Zirani fleet, space itself seemed to ripple as Earth's orbital defense grid revealed its final secret. Massive quantum singularity generators, hidden in dimensional pockets, activated simultaneously. The energy building in the Zirani ships was safely contained and redirected. "That's impossible," Vaxterin whispered. "Your civilization couldn't possibly understand quantum singularity manipulation." Alina finished. "Commander, I think it's time you realize something. Humanity didn't just develop advanced technology. We developed wisdom about how to use it. Every weapon in our arsenal, from the simplest kinetic round to our most sophisticated quantum devices, serves a purpose. We've learned there is no such thing as obsolete technology, only obsolete thinking." The Zirani fleet hung motionless in Earth's orbit, their most desperate attack neutralized, their combat options exhausted. Earth's dark matter fleet maintained their perfect formation, a display of power made more impressive by its quiet efficiency. "Now then," Alina continued, "shall we discuss the terms of your surrender? And perhaps more importantly, what message you'll be sending back to your protectorate about humanity's place in the galactic community?" The command center fell silent, waiting for the Zirani response. The balance of power in the galaxy was about to shift dramatically, and everyone present knew they were witnessing a pivotal moment in human history, a new understanding. 1 month after the failed Zirani invasion attempt, Admiral Alina Santos stood before the United Earth Council, presenting her final report on the encounter that had changed humanity's place in the galaxy. "The Zirani delegation has returned to their core worlds," she explained, addressing the assembled leaders. "Our quantum monitoring systems confirm they're delivering exactly the message we intended, that Earth is not to be underestimated." The holographic display showed multiple Zirani ships departing the solar system, their once proud crystalline vessels now escorted by Earth's dark matter fleet. But more interesting were the other alien vessels arriving. Diplomatic ships from dozens of previously unknown civilizations, all suddenly very interested in establishing relations with humanity. "The game has changed," Maya added, stepping forward to join Alina. "The Zirani's defeat has shattered the established galactic power structure. Many worlds that chafed under their protection are now looking to Earth as a potential ally." The council chamber's quantum displays showed the diplomatic requests flooding in. Some were from civilizations far more advanced than the Zirani, who had watched the conflict with great interest. Others came from younger species who saw in humanity a different path to advancement. "The Zirani's greatest mistake," Alina continued, "wasn't underestimating our technology. It was underestimating our approach to advancement itself. They couldn't comprehend a civilization that would deliberately combine multiple technological levels, that would see value in both the simple and the sophisticated. She gestured, and the display showed footage from the battle. Earth vessels using everything from conventional kinetic weapons to quantum singularity manipulation, often in the same attack sequence. We've received particularly interesting communications from the Arxian Collective, Maya reported. They're one of the oldest civilizations in the galaxy, and they say they've never seen our approach to technological development. Most species abandon their primitive technology as they advance. We're the first they've encountered who deliberately maintained and enhanced all technological levels simultaneously. The council members exchanged thoughtful looks. Humanity's path to the stars had indeed been unique, born of centuries of warfare and the hard-learned lesson that no tool, no strategy, no technology should ever be completely discarded. And the Zirani themselves? One council member asked. Alina's expression softened slightly, actually adapting better than expected. Their defeat seems to have triggered a cultural revolution of sorts. Their younger generation is particularly fascinated by our hybrid approach to technology. We've already received requests for cultural exchange programs, real ones this time. The galaxy is watching, Maya added. How we handle this moment will define humanity's role in interstellar politics for centuries to come. Elena nodded, which is why I'm recommending we proceed with Operation Open Hand. The holographic display shifted to show a new initiative, a program to share some of humanity's unique technological approaches with other civilizations, while carefully maintaining certain strategic advantages. Not domination through force, like the Zirani had attempted, but leadership through innovation and cooperation. The Zirani thought they were superior because they had abandoned primitive technology in favor of pure advancement. Elena explained. We showed them that true sophistication lies in understanding and mastering all levels of development. Now we have the opportunity to show the galaxy a new way forward. The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Earth had entered the galactic stage not just as a powerful military force, but as something far more interesting, a civilization that had found a unique path to the stars. There's an old saying, Elena concluded, looking out at the assembled leaders. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Humanity's greatest strength has always been our ability to learn, to adapt, to combine the old with the new. Now we can share that strength with the galaxy. Above them, Earth's combined fleet, from conventional ships to dark matter vessels, maintained their vigilant watch. They were a perfect symbol of humanity's approach, honoring the lessons of the past while embracing the possibilities of the future. The galaxy would never be the same, and perhaps that was exactly what it needed. The end.